help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Please, like the video and share your thoughts. In the comments, your feedback helps. Make the content better. I never imagined love could slip away so quietly, like smoke seeping through a crack in a window. My name is Theo. I'm 38, and I was married to Leah for 12 years. When we first met, she radiated energy and laughter, the kind of person who could brighten any room. I was quieter, a little awkward, but I thought I had my life in order. Steady job, my own apartment, a small circle of friends. Leah said she admired that about me, how grounded and reliable I was. I believe we were perfectly suited. The early years felt effortless. Weekend getaways, late-night movies, playful messages that made me smile during work. We were a team, partners in crime, lovers in every sense. But around the 7th year, the spark began to dim. I noticed small changes first. She stopped laughing at my jokes, dismissed my compliments, spent more time on her phone than talking to me. Initially, I blamed stress, work, maybe even myself. I gave her space, thinking love didn't always need to be loud or constant. But the distance only widened. By the 9th year, her emotional withdrawal became a wall I could feel. Sitting next to her on the couch, I'd reach for her hand or a hug, and she would flinch or pull back subtly. I tried gentle conversations, filled with care and hope, asking if she was okay, if something was wrong, if we could fix things. Each time, she gave a faint smile and said, "I'm fine, Theo, just tired." I could sense the emptiness behind the words. They weren't lies, just hollow and weightless. Our bedroom, once a refuge, became a barren place. Nights were long, listening to her turn in bed, endlessly scrolling as if our years together had never existed. I didn't crave grand gestures, just to feel wanted, to feel seen. Yet, every effort I made seemed to erode me slowly. I tried gifts, surprises, notes, even cooking her favorite meals, but nothing pierced the barrier of her indifference. Then, one evening, after another week of quiet tension, she spoke. Not in anger, not in argument, just in that steady, matter-of-fact voice that made everything heavier. "Theo, I don't love you anymore. I haven't for a while." I stared, numb. My mind searched for a joke, a trick, a hidden meaning. There was none, only the raw, unflinching truth. I couldn't respond. That night, I packed a small bag, not in anger, not in haste, but out of necessity. Clothes, toothbrush, charger, the essentials. I left quietly, letting the silence carry what words could not. No shouting, no slammed doors, just a faint click of the lock behind me. A final act of acceptance. I moved into a modest apartment across town, furnished with thrift store finds and memories untouched by her. Slowly, carefully, I began to rebuild. I reconnected with old friends, took up running again, and joined a book club where no one knew my past. Life felt lighter, freer, though tinged with loss. I expected she might reach out, maybe regret, maybe apologize. Instead, the contacts came subtly, through mutual friends, messages from unknown numbers, her presence lingering in cafes I frequented, comments on my posts, inquiries about me. At first, I felt fear, then frustration, and finally clarity. This wasn't love anymore. It was about control, a refusal to let go. One afternoon, I was sitting under a maple tree in a small park, reading, when I saw her across the path. She spoke to a stranger, pointing at me, eyes sharp and calculating. My heart raced, but I reminded myself I was no longer part of the story she wanted to write. The real turning point came when I met Juniper, a colleague at my new job, cheerful, intelligent, with a laugh that reminded me what joy felt like. Slowly, I allowed myself to enjoy her company. Coffee dates, talks about books, life, and small everyday things. For the first time in years, I felt like myself again, not a shadow of someone else's expectations. Then Leah appeared again unexpectedly during one of these outings. Not an apology, not a conversation, just standing there, eyes narrowed, voice sharp. "Theo, we need to talk. You're moving on too fast." I glanced at her, then at Juniper, and for a brief moment, the old guilt pricked me. But I remembered the nights of silence, the words left unspoken, the love that had faded before I even noticed. Calmly, I said, "I'm living my life now. I'm happy. That's all that matters." I turned back to Juniper, smiling, feeling something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. Leia searched my face, perhaps for an argument, perhaps for a spark. There was none. She left, fading into the life she had chosen, a life without me. Since then, I've learned to build walls that protect me from past pain, but don't block new joy. Her presence is sometimes a reminder of what I endured and of the quiet bravery it takes to leave a life that no longer loves you back. Occasionally, I see her name on social media or photos shared by mutual friends. There's a twinge, a memory of laughter, of what once was, but fleeting. It doesn't pull me back, because I've learned love isn't about holding on. It's about recognizing when it's gone, stepping away without drama, and letting life fill the spaces left behind. Now, I wake in a sunlit apartment smelling of fresh coffee and old books, my heart beating fully for someone who smiles back. I sleep with quiet triumph, knowing I left not in anger but in wisdom. And if Leia continues to watch, to linger on the edges of my life, it doesn't matter. I have my story, my peace, my joy. This time it's real, because love, I've learned, isn't possession. It's recognition. And sometimes the bravest act is to leave quietly, letting silence tell the story.